Hi and welcome to the first full week of November Writing Challenge. Let's start on Monday. It's Tuesday, November 5th. I just finished filming my October reading wrap-up video, but now I'm ready to start writing. I started scene 5 yesterday, but I didn't finish it. I want to at least finish that scene, but let's see if I can write another 1500 to 2000 words today. I finished scene 5.1. I've written a little under 500 words, but it's getting closer to noon, so I think I'm gonna take a lunch break. Scene 5.2 should be relatively short, as well as scene 6, so I think I can write those this afternoon. It's now 2 p.m. and I finished scenes 5.2 and 6. Like I suspected, they were a lot shorter scenes. I've written 1614 words, but I think I'll keep going a little bit longer and try to write 400 words more. It's 3:30 and I wrote 719 words during the last hour and a half. That also means that I finished scene 7.1. In total today, so far, I've written 2,333 words. There are a few scenes early on in the novel that were slower to write. Scene 4.1, which I wrote during the weekend and you saw in my last vlog, and scene 5.1, which I finished today. In both of those scenes there were a lot of dialogue with a large cast of characters and it took me a long time to write. But now that I've written those scenes, writing is going a lot faster and I hope it stays that way. I'm going to take a little break and come back to this later in the evening and hopefully write another 500 words. I would like to be able to finish scene 7.2. If I write 700 words more today, that would mean that my daily word count would be 3000 words, which would be amazing, but 500 words is enough. Anyway, I think I'll see you tomorrow for day 6 of November Writing Challenge. It's Wednesday, November 6th at around noon. I have to run some errands in the morning, but I'm ready to continue writing now. Yesterday evening I wrote over 1000 words more, so my total word count for yesterday was 3420 words. I'm hoping to add another 1500 to 2000 words to the novel today. It's 2:30 and I just finished scene 8. I've written a little over 1100 words. I'm gonna start scene 9 now and see if I can finish that before 4 p.m. If not, I can always finish it in the evening, but it would be really good if I could finish both scenes 9 and 10 today, because that would mean that I'd be done with Act 1. It's 4 p.m. and I just finished writing scene 9. It's a little short with only 707 words, so I definitely need to add more description in later drafts, but at least I have the first draft version of it down. In total today I've written 1869 words. I'm going to take a little break now and come back in the evening. I should be able to finish scene 10 tonight, so I can start Act 2 tomorrow. It's Thursday, November 7th. Yesterday was another 3000 word day, which I was not expecting, but I'm obviously happy about. I've now written the first 10 scenes, which means that I've finished Act 1, or about 20% of the novel. The total word count at the moment is 13,510 words, which would indicate that the final novel would be around 67,000 words, which is more than I expected. I know there are a lot of things that I still need to add in draft 2, but there are also a lot of things that I need to take out because, as odd as it sounds, I'm simultaneously an overwriter and an underwriter. I don't write enough description, but I write too much dialogue and interior monologue. Anyway, it's a little afternoon. I just finished editing and uploading my October reading wrap-up, but I'm ready to continue writing now. My goal is to write between 1000 and 1500 words in this first writing session. I just finished scene 11, that was a little over 1000 words. I'm going to start scene 12 now and try to write around 500 words to it before I take a break. So I started writing scene 12. This is the scene where Wickham tells Lizzie about Darcy, and I think in Pride and Prejudice this scene is an absolute rhetorical masterpiece. So as I'm writing the scene, I'm also reading the original scene in Pride and Prejudice and try to gain some inspiration from it. That means that my writing is a lot slower, but I have written a little over 500 words to it, and it's now 3:30, so I think it's time for a break. I will continue in the evening and hopefully finish the scene then. It's Friday, November 8th. Yesterday evening I finished scene 12.1, so I'm gonna continue with 12.2. That should be a really short scene. It's around 9:30 a.m, so let's see if I can write another 1500 words before noon. It's noon and I've written 2048 words. I wrote scene 12.2 and scenes 13.1 and 13.2, and I'm now in the middle of scene 14.1. It shouldn't take me too long to finish that scene, but I'm going to take a little lunch break now. I want to at least finish scene 14.1 and possibly also 14.2, although in this case the latter half of the scene is the longer. This is the Netherfield Ball scene. It's 1 p.m. I finished scene 14.1 and I started scene 14.2 a little bit, but I think I'm going to take a little break now. I got a package, so I'm gonna go pick that up, and after that I'm going to edit a Write With Me video. I will continue writing in the evening and hopefully finish scene 14.2 then. Actually, I got 3 packages. Let's open them. So I've made 3 new reading journals. You can find the links to these in the description. The first is a reading journal specifically for romance readers. There are 12 monthly reading recap spreads and 100 spreads for reviews, where you can also rate the book and note the spiciness level and the tropes in the book. There's also a simple book review log with room for 200 book reviews. And my favorite and my reading journal for next year, Jane Austen Reading Journal. 2025 will be the 250th birthday of Jane Austen, so I wanted to celebrate it with a Jane Austen reading journal. There are quotes from Jane Austen's novels throughout the reading journal. I'm so excited to start using this. And finally, a proof copy of the fourth draft of Project Prehistory. This is obviously not the final title or the cover. I just wanted to get a printed version of the draft so I can read it before I start working on draft 5. And since I was already ordering author copies of my reading journals, I thought I might as well order a proof copy of Project Prehistory at the same time. It's 8:30 in the evening. Let's try to finish scene 14.2. It's Saturday, November 9th. Yesterday I wrote 3,591 words, and today I'm hoping to add another 2,000 to the manuscript. But first I updated my website and added the new reading journals. I have to send a newsletter later today as well, which you can join on my website. Link is in the description. You can either go to the reading journals and scroll down to get free reading journal spreads, or go to the newsletter and get a free sample of Katie, my Northanger Abbey retelling. It's noon. I just finished scene 15, which is the Colin's proposal scene. That was really fun scene to write. I wrote 994 words, but now it's noon, so I'm gonna take a little lunch break and then continue with scene 16. It's a little over 2 p.m. and I just finished writing scene 16.2. So today I've written scenes 15, 16.1 and 16.2, and in total I've written 2,712 words. It would have been nice if I could have written scene 17 today as well, because then I would have written 1/3 of the novel. But if I write scene 17 tomorrow, as is my plan, I will have written 1/3 of the novel in 10 days, and then I'll be right on track. Anyway, I think I'm done for today, so I'll just curl up onto my blanket and continue reading Shadow and Bone. It's day 10 of November Writing Challenge. I would love to finish scenes 17 and 18 today, then I would have written the first third of the novel. I don't know how many words that will be exactly, probably around 2,000. So let's get to work. I just finished writing scenes 17 and 18. Today I wrote 1,476 words, and in total the manuscript has 23,783 words. If that's 1/3 of the novel, that would mean that the entire manuscript would be around 71,000 words, but we'll see. It's around 2 p.m. Could I write more? Yes. Do I just want to relax and finish reading Shadow and Bone? Also yes. So I think I'm gonna end the vlog here, and I'll see you next week.